Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Mutuzėtė Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 345 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. And this question was sent by Pauline. She writes, "Hi, I have a question to ask here. I am a self-learned electronic organist in church. I play hymns every Sunday together with another pianist. In order to create a more inspirational music for God and the congregation, who should be playing melody and who should be the accompanist? Thanks." Also, don't you think that organist and pianists both should be playing something more substantial, not only melody, right, or accompaniment? What's your opinion?
Well, it depends on what kind of hymn it is, because some hymns actually work quite nice on the piano, and some doesn't work on the piano at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you always need to look at the real hymn and then decide what to do.
But I don't think that, for example, pianist could play the melody and the organist could only play the accompaniment in chords. Or, for example, the vice versa, organist could play the melody with the right hand and pianist would provide an accompaniment. This wouldn't be...
Of course, I couldn't agree more. I think in general, electronic organ and piano is a bad duet. I wouldn't mix them both together.
But if you treat it like thésée music, remember? So thésée, they have basic chordal structure for keyboard instrument, but then anything else that plays together, they play melodies and duets and trios and dialogues, and it sounds rather nice this way, polyphonic.
Well, true, but I think if you wouldn't want to do something like thésée, you would still have to have only one keyboard. And if you want to have some elaborations, you would need to add other instruments such as flute, maybe. I think flute would work very nicely. Or violin, or any other solo instrument.
Do you think that Pauline's pianist could play two melodies, two separate contrasting melodies in each hand, as maybe two melodic instruments, violinist and flutist would do?
Well, that's possible. I'm not sure about how the final result would be.
Or in the left hand, maybe he could, imitate maybe cello, and in the right hand, some kind of solo treble instrument, and create nice dialogue.
That's a possibility, although I don't know how advanced we both are and how well could we do that. Because this kind of, musicianship would take some improvisation skills. And
that's very nice. I believe they could train themselves. What would be the first step? What would you do if for example, you and I he had to do this. Or even in our house situation, I would play on the organ and you on piano and vice versa. That wouldn't work because our piano is not in tune with the organ.
This is our organ, yes.
But in theory, maybe I'm thinking in chords, this accompaniment, so to say, but melodic accompaniment, could also think in chords that the organist is playing or choir singing, and then play a lot of maybe arpeggios and things like that. But not only arpeggios, make them melodic, make them meaningful.
Somehow now I'm thinking about that, Geistlich Lied from Austria. We remember way back in the year of 2000 when we were in the church music courses in Salzburg.
Yes, this is like a Christian popular music, but quality popular music, I think. Because each instrument has its own part and very developed part. So Pauline, maybe you could actually do something like this with your pianist. Maybe you could even write out the melody or two melodies for your pianist. And maybe you could write out chords and things like that for yourself, right? Because to do this on your own, on the spot, would be too stressful. You need to either rehearse or write it out.
Sure. And really, if you want to make everything very nice, ask from the congregation, maybe really somebody plays other instrument, other than keyboard instrument. That would really, make things much nicer.
And then you could actually arrange any type of hymn
Sure.
for them to add descants and treble solos and maybe bass lines, alternate bass lines.
Although, if I don't know how many and which stops this electronic organ has, but if it has enough reeds and other colorful stops, maybe organ could then act as a solo instrument, and piano would provide accompaniment.
Right, then the organist need to play maybe treble part, and maybe the left hand could play the cello part, right?
Yes, that way the organ would be a solo instrument, and piano would accompany.
Interesting.
Although you need to check it on the spot, I cannot guarantee that it will sound nice.
And also depends where the organ is located, in the back or in front.
And how far is it from the piano?
How difficult it is to communicate and play together. So it's a lot of things to take in, right, and to take into consideration in this situation. Do you think that organists usually have enough time to do such creative things in church?
Well, I'm not sure. It depends on the situation. Usually, I think we all don't have enough time for things.
But usually people are very appreciative, congregation is very appreciative if you do a little bit more than it's required from you.
That's true.
Right? Her pianist could easily play the chords, and she could play on the organ what's written in the hymnal, and that would be it. And nobody could complain, and actually nobody, I don't think they would have the right to complain, right? Because it's quite enough if you play it nicely on both instruments. But if both of you do something extra, then people will notice. I hope.
True. Do you think people always notice and appreciate new things?
No, not always. But imagine if Pauline or her pianist before the service would come up and say, My dear congregation, today we have prepared for you something very special, and they both of them would, describe what they will be doing in, for example, the following hymn, opening hymn. People would, I think, appreciate that.
Well, yes, but it's of course also, a danger of elaborating too much and adding too many things that, hymn might be unrecognizable and people can't sing it.
And it's always a danger of playing like in a concert setting, right? Sometimes the clergy doesn't like that.
True. Because, for example, for my taste and my understanding of, good hymn accompaniment, the most important thing for hymn accompaniment is to play in a right and steady tempo. This is actually what is the most required from the organist who accompanies congregational singing.
But I mean, if let's say it's a special occasion, maybe hymn festival,
True.
and they would like to do something more and more creative on a number of hymns during that festival, for example, then a few verses, not necessarily every hymn and every verse should be done this way, but once in a while to make it more colorful and more creative. That wouldn't hurt.
True, and I think it's always easier if you have choir at church. It is a big help, and for singing congregational hymns, because we lead congregation.
Interesting. I would probably do such experiments. It's all experiment. You don't know what the result will be, but you don't know until you try. And if you don't try, you will always regret it afterwards.
True.
Because you don't know. Maybe it would have been worth it. Thank you, guys. This was Vidas.
And Ausra.
Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your essays, courses, and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material, as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas
and Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.